Hello and welcome. This is Giant Redwood, and you're about to witness powerful machines transforming timber into sawdust through dangerous, thrilling, and challenging processes. Beyond that, you'll see a skilled carpenter crafting stunning masterpieces out of raw wood. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment to join us on this incredible journey. "8 minutes sounds long, but for a double-shaft wood shredder, those minutes pass under the growl of steel meeting wood. Two steel shafts spin in opposite directions, pulling every log between sharp, jagged blades, dry wood, fresh wood, even thick branches and large stumps, all crushed and torn apart into fine sawdust. In those 480 seconds, the operator must keep sleeves, gloves, straps far from the hungry mouth of the shredder. One piece of cloth caught, and it could drag a person into the relentless teeth of the blades. The crackle of wood breaking, fine dust rising. The scent of fresh timber fills the air. 8 minutes, enough to turn a mountain of logs into a pile of sawdust, but long enough for a single mistake to cost far more than wood. One minute, a chainsaw growls in the damp forest. The steel chain bites through wood grain. Sawdust flies, splinters drop like rain. In those 60 seconds, the worker's hands must stay steady, eyes fixed on the blade. One careless moment, the chain can kick back and take down anyone in its path. The engine's roar mixes with tense breathing. 1 minute, so short, yet the line between work and accident is as thin as a thread. One minute and 40 seconds. A wood shredding line kicks into action, swallowing large logs and turning them into fine sawdust. The sound of steel grinding wood, shafts spinning, blades cutting, all blend together like the growl of a mechanical beast. In those 100 seconds, the operator must watch every log as it travels down the conveyor. Hands, sleeves, straps, they must stay far from the shredder's hungry mouth. One scrap of cloth caught is enough to drag everything down into those relentless blades. 1 minute and 40 seconds, enough to grind a mountain of logs. But enough for carelessness to become a disaster you never see coming. Three minutes, a hydraulic log splitter combined with a wood saw starts up. Long logs feed into the spinning saw blade. The cut is sharp and clean. Sawdust drifts through the air like a fine mist. Each cut piece then moves to the splitter. The hydraulic piston presses slowly, splitting the wood into neat, even logs. In those 180 seconds, the operator must watch not only the whirring blade, but also every log beneath the splitting wedge. One careless moment, a sleeve, a glove, or a strap could get dragged into the cutting blade or the crushing piston. 3 minutes, enough to fill a truck with firewood, but long enough for any mistake to be paid for in sweat or even blood. 50 seconds, a piston log splitter starts pressing down on a stubborn dry log. The sound of steel grinding into wood. The splitting blade tears the fibers apart, sawdust spraying everywhere. In those short 50 seconds, the operator must keep a firm grip, eyes fixed on the piston's edge, one slip, one sleeve caught. That pressure is strong enough to crush wood and anything that gets in its way. 50 seconds, it sounds fast, but an accident is always waiting if you lose focus. Two minutes and 30 seconds, an industrial wood saw roars to life, its blades spinning endlessly. Long logs slide slowly through the razor-sharp blade. Each grain of wood splits clean, sawdust floating in the air like a dusty mist. In those 150 seconds, the operator must keep a steady grip, eyes fixed on the cutting line. One small slip, that steel blade can slice through wood and anything else in its way. The hum of the machine blends with the scent of fresh timber. 2 minutes and 30 seconds, enough to turn a single log into neat, straight planks, but long enough for any carelessness to become an accident. One minute, the chainsaw hums steadily deep in the forest. The chain wraps around the guide bar, screeching as it bites into tough wood. Sawdust flies, the scent of fresh sap fills the air. In those 60 seconds, it's not just the machine's power, but the focus in the worker's hands and eyes. One moment of lost control, and the chainsaw becomes a blade. No one can stop. 1 minute, enough to bring down a tree, but also enough for danger to find its way in. 1 minute and 20 seconds. A wheel loader with a shaft-type brush cutter head dives deep into thick weeds. Blades spin around the steel shaft. Grass, dry twigs, and underbrush slice clean for an aside. In those 80 seconds, the operator must watch the ground closely and watch for hidden rocks or vines wrapping around the shaft. One rock flung out, one vine caught tight, and the loader becomes a hazard in an instant. 1 minute and 20 seconds. It sounds quick, but it's more than enough time for danger if you drop your guard.